What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, and yes, we are face camming. Like, who is this guy? We don't ever see his face. I finally got a new setup, like an actual desk, actual PC, so I figured it's time to start face camming a little bit more. I've done it in some older videos, but I just never had a consistent setup where it was easy to do face cam. So now you get to look at my ugly mug a little bit more often, which should be cool. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about Madden 21 rumors. There's a lot of rumors going around. I can confirm and deny some of these rumors, and some of them are just that. They're just rumors and we have no idea. So we're going to talk about gameplay stuff, franchise stuff, career mode, ultimate team. We're going to talk about all that in this video. If you're new and you haven't subscribed yet, look, we just hit 260K. Y'all have been running it up like crazy lately, and if you want to be up to date on all the latest Madden 21 content that will be dropping starting next week, we get our first look. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications so that you're always up to date. So let's get into the video today. A lot of rumors about Madden 21 have been going around for the past month or so. We're getting our first look Monday, June 1st, so if you want to be up to date on that first look, like I said, subscribe. But not really sure what they're going to show us. Usually the first look is very small. Hopefully they give us something significant since they're releasing info a little bit later this year than they did last year. But let's go over the rumors. So one of the biggest rumors right now is crossplay. If you don't know what crossplay is, that means people on Xbox can play versus people on PlayStation. Now there are some games that utilize this. You know, it's not, I don't think it's not a common thing yet. Like, not every game does it. But it's definitely possible, and it's one of the biggest rumors that a lot of people have been talking about for Madden. And I think it would be a great idea. And there's always like the talk of like who's better on Madden, PS4 players or Xbox players. This has been a war for like the last decade or so. So this would be cool to be able to pool all those players together. I definitely think this has a good chance of happening just because I've never heard this rumor about Madden ever in my life. It's never even been like a thought. But this year, these past few months, there's been several people that have said that they heard that crossplay is coming to Madden 21. And these are people that I consider pretty knowledgeable. Usually, if they say something, usually it winds up being legit. So that's what leads me to believe that it would be coming to Madden 21. So very interesting. But we do know Madden, like a lot of games, don't have the best servers of all time. So that kind of is a question mark there. Like, how will that work? Will it cause more disconnects and desync issues? And I would have to assume yes, because you kind of have to assume the worst sometimes when it comes to EA stuff. So that's really the only question mark. But I do think crossplay is something that is happening for Madden 21. So the next one, this is another big one. New announcers. Now, thanks to Hawthorne for sponsoring today's video. Hawthorne is a premium tailored cologne brand. You go on their website, take a brief quiz, and then they will tailor 2 fragrances just for you. And of course, they're going to be giving you guys a special offer, so stay tuned and we'll go over that in just a little bit. So not only cologne, they have stuff for your hair, your face, body wash, deodorant, the whole 9. I actually have the colognes right here with me. These are my 2 fragrances. They give you one for work and they give you one for play. So basically, work is like your daily cologne, and then your play, I kind of think of that as like your nighttime cologne. You know, you're going out to eat, you're going out with some buddies or something like that. You want to smell good. Now, what's cool is you go on the website, like I said, you take a quiz, takes about 3 minutes. It asks you all the important questions. What type of hair do you have? What type of skin do you have? What do you want to get out of your hair? What do you want to get out of your skin? And for me personally, I've just known the older I've gotten, the regular products out of the store haven't worked for me as good as they used to. So I'm really glad Hawthorne actually reached out and offered to let me try these products, because they actually tailored them to my exact needs. And some people need, you know, have multiple needs, and sometimes you can't really get that out of a store. So I've been using it for a little bit now. I'm really pleased with it. It's something that I definitely recommend to you guys. So if you want to check it out, the link will be below in the description. The code is ERIC10 and you will get 10% off of your first order. When they released that little teaser trailer during the Xbox event a few weeks ago, a lot of people pointed out, hey, in the gameplay clip that they showed of Madden 21, there was a different announcer. It wasn't the typical announcers that we normally have in the game, and people were saying, whoa, we're getting new announcers this year because we heard them in the clip. But then a lot of other people pointed out, no, that was the same clip taken from one of the Chiefs playoff games. I think it was the game versus the Titans, where Patrick Mahomes had that crazy touchdown run. I believe it was that same clip. So that's number one. Number two, I know for sure that the announcing team of Charles Davis and Brandon Gaudin are returning, because Brandon Gaudin put out a tweet about a month ago saying that EA had him set up at home to do the recording for Madden 21, because normally they would go to the recording studio at EA Sports, but with what's going on in the world right now, a lot of the developers are even working from home. So they set up Charles Davis and Brandon Gaudin with a home studio to record the commentary for Madden 21. So number one, those guys are for sure coming back. And the only clip we heard of new announcers was actually a clip taken from an NFL game, kind of just to make the trailer, I guess, look a little bit cooler. So I don't think new announcers is happening. I think that that's a rumor that is false. I know that's going to make a lot of people mad because the commentary in Madden, it's pretty stale, to say the least, and needs a lot of work. I don't think we're getting new announcers for Madden 21. The next thing is abilities. I'm going to touch on this really quickly because to me this isn't even a rumor. A lot of people are just wondering, are they coming back, are they not? Abilities are coming back, 1,000,000%. There's probably going to be even more abilities than last year. Some may get removed, which I think would be good. Things like human joystick, stuff like that, I don't really think need to be in the game because they're too unrealistic. But abilities, if you're of the mindset that maybe they're not coming back, no, 100% they're coming back because they already said it when they put it in. And if you know EA, if you've kind of caught on to how they act, they don't ever say anything that isn't like a definite, right? Like they're not going to allude to something that they think isn't 100% happening because they don't want it held against them. They don't want people to come back and say, well, you said this and it's not there, right? So if they say something, they're going to try their best at least to implement that. So if they said abilities are not a one-year feature, they're going to be here to stay, they're here to stay. Not only that, it's clear to see how big they were for the game, even if they made the gameplay worse in a lot of aspects because some of them were just too overpowered. A lot of people did like them. You either love them or you hate them. Like, there's really not much in between with these abilities, but they're definitely coming back. Hopefully, the big thing here is hopefully they're more balanced. That's always something EA has issue with, is balance in their game, and abilities was another one of those things. So if they can balance them better, I think more people would be open to them. But if they're the way they are now, it's going to literally be love and hate, and it depends on which side you fall on. But they're coming back. That's really the only gameplay rumor going around. We're not really sure about anything else that's been really talked about. Another big rumor, create a team. This is kind of an every year rumor. Hey, is create a team coming this year? So let me kind of speak to this because this is what I truly believe. This is kind of from the outside looking in, this is kind of my thoughts on things. Create a team or just franchise in general, right? If you noticed what kind of has happened with franchise mode lately, the big things that happen for franchise aren't really directly related to franchise. An example, Madden 18 and 19, long shot. Madden 20, face of the franchise. The franchise team is what works on those things because they're closely related to franchise, but they're not actually impacting the actual franchise mode. So the thing here is a lot of people always question, why doesn't franchise mode improve? Why aren't they adding scouting, minicamp, this or that? Why do they only add like one or two little small things that used to be in the game and then that's it? That's all they do every year. Why don't they get more resources? Well, the thing is, franchise mode gets resources and it's not on the devs. Like, this is the thing you have to kind of realize. The developers who work on franchise want all of that stuff in franchise. They want to build all of that. You have to think, even Clint, a guy that he's not really a franchise guy now, he's more of just a lead guy for Madden. He worked on NCAA 14. He's one of the reasons NCAA 14 was good. Ben Miller, I believe, is the lead guy for franchise. He worked on NCAA 14. He's the reason, one of the big reasons that the dynasty mode and things like that in that game were so great. Moonlight Swami used to be a YouTuber. He literally is a franchise mode YouTuber. That's all he did on his YouTube channel. He now works on the franchise team. That guy is the hardcore of the hardcore when it comes to franchise. Those guys want to put all that stuff in the game. The thing is, the suits that control the resources for franchise, they usually designate them to things like making long shot 2, last year making face of the franchise. And those things do take a lot of time and resources to build. They truly do. The problem is, it's not, like I said, the problem is not that franchise mode doesn't get resources. It's that they don't get the resources for the things that the hardcore franchise mode players want, like the scouting and things of that nature. And I think this year, when it goes to create a team and things like that, I don't think it's going to be in the game because I 100% think, just kind of how I view things, that most of the franchise resources, yet again, are going to be put into face of the franchise because that is the mode that they truly want to grow. That is the mode that definitely helped sell the game a good bit this year. Because as good as things like scouting and minicamp would be, that's not really what they consider, in my mind, a back-of-the-box feature. That's a feature for the hardcore, whereas, hey, new career mode in the game, you can play in college and all this stuff. That's stuff that makes people pick up the game 100%, and that's what they want to do. They want to sell the game. So I think you're going to see face of the franchise get the bulk of the resources this year. I think you'll see things like, with franchise, I think you're going to see things that are already there be tweaked. I don't know if you're going to see much new added. I think you're going to see like the scenario engine improved upon, because that would be something that would give replayability to franchise. But like last year, they added the Pro Bowl, they added the scenario engine. Neither really added replayability to franchise. Yes, they're good features, they should be there, but they don't add replayability like something that scouting would add. Now, the scenario engine could add a lot of replayability if they made it much better than it is. It was just way too basic in the first year. So I think you'll see that improve, but I don't think you're going to see like the creative team or any other big features, because I think they're pouring all their time back in the face of the franchise, because that mode is even further behind than regular franchise mode is, and they're trying to catch up to like NBA 2K or MLB The Show, because they see how profitable a game mode like that can be. Now that takes us to face of the franchise. So the only rumors really going around about face of the franchise are more positions and maybe more like pre-draft stuff. Now, more positions, I think that's a check. That's definitely happened, because Michael Young, the creative director, he's already alluded to this. And again, if you know EA, they don't, especially of the last few years, they don't allude to anything or like comment on anything that they're not going to do. Because they know if they do, people are going to go back to them with the pitchforks and say, well, you said this was going to happen, it didn't happen. That's how I knew early on that Madden 20 was going to have a new career mode, because early Madden 19, somebody tweeted to Michael Young and said, hey, long shot's cool, but we really want a standalone career mode, not a story mode. And he said, don't worry, we got you. And as soon as he said that, I knew, okay, we're getting a career mode in Madden 20, because he would not say that if it wasn't something we were going to do. You know when they're not going to do something typically, because they dance around the question if they answered, or they just ignore it altogether. But they dance around questions when it's something that they can't confirm. If it's something they know they're doing, they're going to allude to, stay tuned, we got you, because they know they're going to do it, and they know nobody can come back to them and say, hey, you said this and it didn't happen. So more positions, they've already talked about that happening. He did an interview a while back, and he said that you would see more positions. That's like the logical next step. I don't think it'll be every position, because, EA just spoon feeds stuff. It kind of sucks, but we just know that that's how they operate. I think you're going to see like skill positions like wide receiver, running back, maybe, defensive back, linebacker. I don't think you're going to see like kicker and offensive line and stuff like that. But I think you're definitely going to see more positions. That's happening. As far as more pre-draft stuff, more college and more high school, well, we didn't even have high school last time. That's why everybody loved NCAA, because you could play in high school and then you go to college, right? We've seen that some years in NBA 2K, where you start in high school, go to college, go to the NBA, right? They don't do it every year, but they have done it some years. I think you could see that this year in Madden. I think that, because he said that in the interview as well, like, it's likely that we expand the college portion of it next year, and maybe even do some high school, because they know people enjoy that aspect of the game, because we don't have a current game like an NCAA where we can do that year to year. So most people love the fact that you could play 2 college games last year. So if they could extend that, maybe make it 5 to 6, maybe even add in a couple high school games, I think that is very likely to happen this year, because they've kind of alluded to that being the next step. As far as the NFL portion of the career mode, I don't think that's going to change very much. I think the only way that changes positively is if the scenario engine gets better. I don't think you're going to have like the free roaming that you see in NBA 2K just yet, or like the storylines necessarily, once you get to the NFL. But if they can make the scenario engine a decent amount better than it was this year, I think that is what could make the NFL portion of career mode a little bit better. Now, going into Ultimate Team, I'll be honest, I haven't heard a single rumor about Ultimate Team. Of course, there's a couple things we want, like practice mode and chemistries being better balanced, because chemistries have just kind of overrun the mode and made every player feel like the same player towards the end of the year. But those are just things people want. I have not heard a single rumor about Ultimate Team, and contrary to popular belief, I know a lot of people say like, man, Ultimate Team gets all the resources because it makes the most money. If you play Ultimate Team, like Ultimate Team is literally the same thing every year. It's much like franchise. It's the same thing every year. You get little tweaks, maybe a little convenience feature, something tuned. You don't usually get a lot of new things. Like, yeah, a couple years ago they added team play to it, but a lot of people don't even play that. The main bulk of Ultimate Team really stays the same every year. I think that's why they love it so much, because they don't have to put a lot of money into it, but they make a lot of money off of it. It doesn't cost a lot of money to like pay the legend players to come to the game and things like that. That stuff's actually really cheap from what I've heard. So yeah, Ultimate Team, I haven't heard any rumors. I don't expect much of a change with it. Little tweaks, but nothing crazy, because they don't have to. People still play it every year and spend money on it, and they don't really have to add that much to it. That's really it. Those are all the rumors. So like I said, June 1st, we're going to see what comes. The only 2 things that really or else that are out there are the fact that they're working from home this year, and also the fact that we're going to next gen. Those are two big factors that we don't get every year with a new game. So I wonder if any of those things are going to have the game held back, or if any of those things are going to help the game. If anything, you know, it's always safe to assume that those are going to hold the game back, if anything. But those are two factors that we don't deal with every year, so I'm curious to see if that's going to play a role in the game this year. But that's it for today. Check out some of these other videos right here. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, I will see you guys next time.